Precisely 1:15. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. News edited by Catherine Pereira, assisted by Surangani and read by Sharifa Tahir. Headlines. Prime Minister emphasizes that no decision has been taken to hand over the Eastern Jetty of Colombo Port to a foreign company. Agreements are to be reached with the WHO to obtain a vaccine for COVID. A project to construct flats for the youth of middle class gets underway. 14 COVID-infected persons have been identified by conducting random tests. Polling stations are closing in Georgia runoffs. That's on news overseas. We move on to local news in detail now. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa says that no decision has been taken to hand over the Eastern Jetty or a part of it of the Colombo port city to a foreign company. He said in Parliament that there is a possibility to minimize the naval congestions faced by the Colombo port by developing the Eastern Terminal. He made these remarks to a question raised by parliamentarian Nalaka Kumara Disanayaka. Minister Rohita Begunawardena said that 6 terminals will begin at the Colombo port during the present government period. Replying to a question raised by parliamentarian Champika Ranavaka, the Prime Minister said that the economy was collapsed during the 2015 to 2019. Prime Minister also stated that the present government has taken measures to increase the economy in the country. Minister Pavitra Vanyaraji said in Parliament they will reach an agreement with the WHO to obtain a vaccine for COVID-19. State Minister Nalaka Kumara says that the government has commenced the construction of flats housing scheme targeting the youth in the middle class island-wide. He made these remarks participating in the Subharati program of the SLBC this morning. The construction work for 3,000 houses has already begun in Colombo, Gampa, Kandy and Anuradhapura areas. The State Minister also stated that the present government has taken measures to fulfill the aspiration of the youth. Media spokesman of prison Chandana Ekanayaka says that 4,124 COVID-infected persons are reported from the prison cluster. He told SLBC that there were 125 prison officials and 461 male inmates among them. 9 female inmates were also among them. Most of the COVID cases were reported from the Valikada prison. Police media spokesman Najit Rohana says that 14 COVID cases have been identified by conducting random PCR tests and rapid antigen tests yesterday. 1,060 persons were subjected for random tests yesterday. 81 persons who did not wear face masks have been taken into custody yesterday. He also stated that 2,253 persons have been taken into custody from the 30th of October. Police spokesperson DIG Ajit Rohana also said 2 suspects have been arrested in the area of Matara while in possession of a smuggled-in consignment of turmeric. During a raid carried out by the officers of Matara police, a total of 1,128 kilograms of turmeric concealed in 24 parcels was taken into custody along with a lorry. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation giving you the news. Moving on to more stories here at home. The National Operational Centre to Prevent the Spread of COVID-19 says 484 COVID patients were detected by this morning. 121 cases were reported from the Colombo district, 110 from the Gampaha district and 30 from the Galle district have been identified. The overall COVID-infected cases reported from the Minuwanguda and Colombo Fish Market has increased to 41,955. Out of this number, 35,504 persons have been recovered. The overall COVID-19 cases reported from the country is at 45,725. Out of this number, 38,261 persons left from the hospital after completing their recoveries. 2 COVID deaths were reported by this morning. The overall death toll stands at 217. The 4th suspect in the Swarna Mahal Jewellers Limited case, Nalaka Edrisinghe, has surrendered to the Criminal Investigation Department today. Investigations are being carried out over the unauthorized acceptance of deposits worth 13.7 billion rupees misappropriation and money laundering. That's on local news.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Vidya Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vidya Mahatmya.
The Suraksha Children's Insurance Policy granted by the Ministry of Education to all school-going students free of charge has once again been awarded to Sri Lanka Insurance, the state insurance giant, to facilitate the process. This unique scheme, Suraksha, was initiated as a collaboration of the Education Ministry and SLIC in the year 2017. SLIC will commence facilitation of the policy through its exclusive branch network of 158 outlets to 4.5 million school children from all walks of life in government, private and international schools, and also extends to venerable student priests in Pirivena education.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vidya Mahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
The residents in Matara complained that there are no facilities needed for the passengers at the main bus stand in Dikwala. They request the relevant authorities to provide facilities for this bus stand. That came to you on Watchlight.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
World News headlines: polling stations closes in Georgia runoffs. Hong Kong authorities arrest some 50 activists. WHO team investigating virus origins denied entry to China. Millions of people have cast ballots in 2 runoffs elections in the U.S. state of Georgia that will determine the balance of power in Congress. President-elect Joe Biden, Democratic Party, is hoping to gain control of the Senate for the first time in years. Polling stations are set to begin closing at evening, although many people opted for advance voting due to the pandemic. If Democrats win both races, it would allow Kamala Harris to cast the deciding vote in the chamber as vice president. If Republicans win either seat, the party would retain a slim majority and could block Biden's legislative agenda. Hong Kong's media say that about 50 pro-democracy activists were arrested today on suspicion of violating the national security law for the territory. New outlets say the arrests include former members of Hong Kong's Legislative Council and District Council members. They say the details of the charges are unknown, but they are related to pro-democracy primaries held in July to choose candidates for the Legislative Council election. Finally, on World News, a World Health Organization team due to investigate the origins of COVID-19 in the city of Wuhan has been denied entry to China. 2 members had already set out on their journey. One has now turned back and the other is in transit in a third country. WHO said the problem was a lack of visa clearances. The long-awaited probe was agreed upon by Beijing in December after many months of negotiations with the WHO. That's on World News.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
And on development news, a systematic program has commenced to develop lowlands in the Galle district. It is expected to control the floods in the area. The project is being carried out by the Galle Municipal Council and its state officials and opportunities will also be made to cultivate barren lands. That's on development news. Moving on to sports news. Measures have been taken to conduct all sport activities under the health guidelines considering the present situation in the country. A discussion in this regard was held with the participation of Minister Pavitra Vanniyarachi, Minister Namal Rajapaksa and State Minister Thenuka Vidanagambage regarding the conducting of sport training session with the face of COVID-19 pandemic. It is scheduled to provide a series of health guidelines by the Sport, Education and Health Ministries. Moving on to business news now. Newly appointed Board of Investment Chairman Sanjay Mohottala says fulfilling one of the most urgent needs of the local apparel sector, Sri Lanka's first ever fabric park will commence operations from mid-next year in Eravur in Battiklo. This is one of the top priorities for the Board of Investment for 2021. The 275-acre plot park, which received the cabinet approval, was planned from early 2020 on, has now reached the final stages, and we envisage around $300 million from 5 investors who have already committed for this. More foreign textile manufacturers will be invited to set up factories within this zone.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Congratulations on your promotion. It will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh, no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
Nindagam Palasa in Ambalapitia has been named as TJC Mango Export Village. Planting of mango saplings were carried out recently. State Minister Nalaka Kumara says that the mango saplings will be supplied free of charge. The objective of this move is to increase the exports. This project is now being carried out in Anuradhapura, Monaragala and Hambantota areas.
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
No, Amma. We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
Oh, really? How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy. She might be feeling very uncomfortable. The airport must be heavily crowded because it's the season.
Amma, calm down. Everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge. There's nothing to worry.
Those who spread goodness radiate happiness to everyone around them. Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
And on the weather update, the Met Department says several spells of showers will occur in northern, eastern, north central and over provinces and in Matara and Nuwareli district. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places elsewhere after 1 p.m. Heavy showers above 100 millimeters can be expected at some places in Sabaragamu and western provinces and in Galle and Matara district. With that weather update, we conclude the afternoon bulletin of news. And it's back to Victor Raj.